Bigfoot Studios! Yeah! Oh, and we're still in the hot tub! Yes, there he is. They love you, Travis. They love you. They love you. Okay, there we go. Did I say that I gave cheese specialists a hat that said "Make America Great Again"? What happened to your sound, Travis?
Oh, can you not hear me?
Oh, no, I know why I can't hear you is because I have you turned all the way the fuck down. That's why you can That's why we can't hear Travis. Could you go
Can you
ahead?
hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you. I got you now, baby. You sound good. You sound good. Sounding great.
Yep.
Oh, and again, guys, I'm going to turn off the sound effects. You'll still be able to use the alerts, just there just won't be sound, just because everyone, you guys know that I have the attention span of a gnat, and my fucking brain gets distracted easily. As you guys can see, we're still in the hot tubs, so
Oh yeah.
we're maxing and relaxing. So anybody who subs today will get their name written on my arm, just like Amaranth and just like Indie Fox, just like all the e-girls, but with smaller boobs. So we're gonna do that because we're doing hot tub stream. I don't know why I didn't put myself in a hot tub stream category. Look at this. This is beautiful. The water's warm, folks. The water's warm. Nobody knew that you could hot tub in space, Travis. Did you know that
Uh,
you could hot tub in space?
I mean, I had a feeling.
I kind of
I mean,
assumed.
the aliens know what's up, man.
Dude, the fucking aliens. What's your take on all this alien stuff that's going on here?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to thinking there could be like aliens out there. You know, I mean, there's a whole universe, I guess. So
Yeah.
they
Well,
may not be as weird as people think they are. I don't know.
well, I mean, like, what do you think those things are that are flying around and like they can go from like fucking go from the height of an airplane down to a foot above land in less than a second. They can go above and below water just as fast. It seems there's no propulsion system that's visible. There's like so. I mean, like, what do you think? What do you personally think that it is? I've
I
heard a,
mean,
I've heard a lot
I'm
of
not
different.
exactly. I guess I haven't heard about this new development, but so there's
Really,
like there's people are seeing things like that are
they're not only seeing it; they're filming it.
they're
They're
oh
and the
wow.
pen. What is that? What is that? Do you not know that the Pentagon has like admitted that these things are like extra? They're not saying they're extraterrestrial, but they're saying that they are not from the U.S. government, that they don't know what it is, and that there is a possibility that they might be interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or terrestrial beings who
Hmm.
are on Earth or I've also heard it's a hologram now that you can resurrect Tupac.
Oh,
Like, why couldn't they? If you can resurrect Tupac, why can't you why
you got
can't you why can't
Tupac and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. So I've heard a lot of this Bigfoot needs a bigger pool. You know what? It's big enough, Moving Dutchman. It's big enough. This is Amaranth and Indie Fox were both
I
banned. Were they really?
I move back, it's bigger.
Oh, there you go. You feel better now. It's all about perspective. Wait a second. Amaranth and Indie Fox were banned? Oh shit. Damn. My fucking I still have a sub to Indie Fox. What a waste of money. God damn it. You probably don't know who Indie Fox or Amaranth is, do you, Travis?
I don't.
They're. Do you know what e-girls are?
I man, you gotta school me on
Dude,
some
Travis,
of this
you
stuff.
live in your studio, bro. Talk about censorship for real. Holy shit. And like the funny, okay, so these were e-girls who
Yeah.
who didn't really, I mean, they're obviously showing their boobs and stuff for money, but they were cool and obviously they were showing off flesh for cash, but it like they kept like Twitch kept on they keep on moving the goalpost, and that's the problem with a lot of these social media companies.
Mhm.
They move the goalpost on what's acceptable and what is. For example, they're right now they're having a big there's this big wave that's going through the music category in which there's a lot of copyright infringements going on. Well, they're saying they're going to start doing these copyright infringements because Twitch has a license to good for Twitch. Go to other websites for e-girls. Moving Dutchman, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had it. Like, is that why you don't go to Sarah Jazz anymore? I'm just kidding, man. Hey, you know what? It's. I'm not against e-girls on the platform personally. You know, I respect your decision on all that. Moving Dutchman, you don't want to see e-girls on Twitch. I get it. It's video games and other stuff, but I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind seeing boobies. I don't mind. Amaranth is funny. Indie Fox is funny. Like, they're both like fun to hang out with. So it's like Twitch is big enough not to care about the money these influencers are bringing in. I guess you're right. But so anyways, Amaranth and Indie Fox are like one of the two top of the food chain of e-girls on this platform. And they kept on changing and moving the goalpost and sort of like, so they couldn't dance anymore. So they had to like stand still and like move their arms around. They couldn't like shake their boobs. Still banned. You're still banned, but yet you're still subbed. What? But you still have her fucking. Oh, I'm sorry, Travis. I know this is all like just. This is probably like you have no idea what's going on, but that's okay.
I mean, I'm learning a lot.
He's like, I'm here. I'm doing it. I made it. All right. No, it's a bit email. Oh, okay. So you get to keep that, huh? Anyways, so now they're banned. Apparently they banned their asses. The problem is there's no clear definitions on what's acceptable. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these social media sites is that people are getting banned left and right for any reason they deem, any reason. They don't even have to give a reason anymore either. So, I mean, I get it. It's like it's Twitch. They have their platform. It's their platform. They have their rules and such. But I think that you should be a little bit more clear about what's acceptable and what's not, because they're just constantly just making it up as they go along, which they say they can ban you for any reason at all. That it's right in the TOS. So, coming into this platform, you got to know that it's fucking, you could get banned. But what I was saying about the copyright infringement is that like the music category is having problems right now where they have a license so you can play covers, but they don't have a license for recording said covers. So basically those VODs that are left over after you live stream, those are considered recordings.
Yeah.
And so you can get a copyright infringement or banned or whatever for having those VODs. So a lot of these streamers now have moved all their VODs to YouTube and now direct people to YouTube. I mean, it's a big hit for the music category because when people come to your channel and you're not live, they go through your old videos, right? And they go through your VODs and check you out. And so it really does put a damper on gaining new people. And I don't know, man. It's just everything's getting locked down way more. I know you primarily stream on Facebook and YouTube, and recently you added in Twitch. But have you had any problems with takedowns on Facebook?
I've never had any of the live streams we've done taken down afterwards, because we tend to, for the most part, stick to, the artists that are coming in are playing their own original music.
Yeah.
So they kind of got they've got the rights to that.
Right.
So I don't see how it could be taken down unless it got flagged as, like previously recorded and, the artist didn't know or something.
Well, the funny thing is that I was playing a song with my friends on stream, and his own song got muted off of and it's an original song, and it's his own song got muted on the final VOD. So we're running into problems where like people who actually own the rights to their own music are getting flagged and getting muted or getting taken down because of their own music. And
well, I mean, it's probably like, everything's like these computer algorithms. So when they hear something that's, been recorded or has been released, and it cross references with, a million different songs or whatever.
Right.
uh, it just takes them down automatically without actually finding out if it was okay to do, or if they don't even recognize that, like you said, the artist was even the one performing.
Right. Yeah. And so like how do we get past that shit? Like how do we do that? I mean, as someone who's, in the like I know you're in the you recording and the mixing and mastering side of it. How much of it do you do on the business side of it besides handling your own finances? Do you ever do anything outside of just, like copywriting your music, do anything like that?
I mean, I try to, I don't necessarily do it, but I try to point artists in the right direction so that they're, you know, legally okay.
Hmm.
When they release their music, they're not gonna get someone to steal it, or they're not going to they're gonna release it in a way that is the most professional. They're not gonna release it to just like YouTube.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah. Yeah, most of the people who go through there, most of the time, if they're paying you to record them, they're probably going to go through the process, the correct steps to put it out.
yeah.
Um, but I was just curious if you handle any of that side on yours. Like when you're done with an album, do you just be like, are you just like, here you go, here's the masters, and you go deal with it? Or have you ever helped and assisted people with sort of getting it out and distributed?
I mean, I help you.
Mm.
I tend to be the one that sends it for duplication or uploads it. And
Mm.
that's about as far as I go.
Right.
I don't necessarily act as like, say, a manager or a
Right, right.
promoter thing for the bands, but um, so basically, I record it, mix it, master it. A lot of times, I'll even produce the album and like help artistically, shape them so that to what they want to be,
Mm.
as a final recorded artist. But as far as like the, promoting it afterwards, I mean, it's not exactly.
That's not my thing, bro. You promote
Yeah,
your own albums.
that's like
I don't.
I
Well,
gotta promote the studio and stuff. So.
well, I don't know, like, because I know this is like different worlds for you. Because when we're talking about like Twitch and like the copyrights and stuff like that, that's a little bit outside of what you're doing. But like with your live streaming on the Facebook,
Mhm.
it's cool that you haven't had any problems with Facebook because I know that like every time we do something that has to do with covers with it, like at least for me, is always getting a takedown or muted or something. It's like Facebook has always seemed to be like the shittiest of all the streaming platforms, but maybe they're stepping up because now Facebook is paying their streamers when someone subscribes to you, they're giving you the full amount of money. So if the subscription costs $5, you get $5. Whereas on Twitch, you pay $5 and the streamer gets 250 and Twitch gets the other 250. So, there's some aspects. If Facebook can come up, which nobody from Twitch likes Facebook. Like no, like, this is like the biggest anti-Facebook fucking platform I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of. Big Papa, welcome. Good to see you. Saw you. Snaw ya. I snaw ya sneak in there. Yeah. In any case, whatever. We're gonna have to just deal with it as it goes.
Mhm.
I am okay with dressing sexy or even nudity. Moving Dutchman, I didn't know you had it in you. Unless it is your main thing you do on your channel, so go for it. You know, again, I don't have anything against. Oh, Papa, sweet, you got those Goldbergs. Get your Goldbergs out. Hold on, I gotta go. I'm sorry, I got distracted. This is what happens, Travis. You come on the show and then I just talk to the chat. Sweet potatoes and hers. Yes, much love. Thank you for that gifted sub, by the way, from the other day. I appreciate it. Bigfoot's too. Hey, thank you for that contribution, brother.
Yes.
No, I don't know. Like you're married, so you're probably not on the e-girl sites or anything, but like, uh,
Can't say that.
but it's I don't know, like what's your opinion on like e-girls and like the OnlyFans stuff? I mean, where do you stand with all
Well,
that
I
stuff?
mean, there's an audience for everything. So,
Mm,
and obviously I could see, there being a big audience for that.
huge. Huge. Real
But
big.
I wasn't personally ever into it. I mean, I wasn't on Twitch till like beginning of or the end of last year.
Right, right.
uh,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
pretty new
but
to
you're on
figuring.
you're on social media and you're aware
Yeah, yeah.
of these of women who are scantily dressed and selling, links for a nominal fee.
Mm,
By the way, I gotta give a big shout out to my sister for getting me. This is my Father's Day shirt from my sister. It says "Dad and Better in Toledo." More
mm,
Toledo propaganda. My sister likes to give me Toledo propaganda since
nice.
I didn't want to come back to Toledo, and when I had to come back to Toledo, I was very upset about it. So now she's trying to like inundate me with like propaganda. It's like, you'll do better in Toledo, Dad, and better in Toledo. You love it in
Putting it in your
Toledo.
face.
We are doing better in Toledo. Have been, yeah. Like we have like a whole collection of like doing better in Toledo swag that my sister's trying to doctrinize us with. Anyways, Travis, tell me what how do you get when do you get started with music? What's the first instrument you play? Because Travis is a multi-instrumentalist, but it was the
I,
first
yeah.
instrument you stepped into and really
I mean,
took
the,
to.
the first instrument like I took serious. I mean, everyone goes to fourth grade, they get the choice to play like a string instrument.
Mhm.
I picked viola, but I only played it for fourth grade.
That's it.
And then when I went to fifth grade, they introduced the brass instruments. So I started playing trombone, and I still play trombone. And I went to, ended up, it's what got me into music school and stuff. So trombone was the first instrument that I really took seriously and started, learning actually how to play it and not just kind of noodling around and just figuring things out, learning to read music and everything, and just really buckling down on it. So yeah, so in fifth grade, after fifth grade, I kept playing trombone, went to marching band. High school came, I wanted to play something cooler, so I picked up the guitar.
Isn't that how it goes though? Like you're in high school
Yeah,
and you're just like, I need to upgrade this shit. Like fucking this
I mean trombone.
tromboner.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta play my boner.
Yeah, where's my boner?
Yeah, so I when I was in my sophomore year of high school, I started playing trombone, and within 2 months, a guy in school asked me to join a metal band. So I started playing guitar in a band after 2 months of playing. So it kind of was like a quick learning process in a way because I didn't really know how to play. My solos were just like picking really fast and moving my fingers anywhere on the frets. Yeah.
I'm fucking
So
rocking, bro.
yeah. So I was like, I got to learn to play this if I want to be in a band.
But
So so I mean, we started playing shows within like probably 4 or 5 months of being a band. Writing our own original death metal music.
was that
uh,
hard for you guys? Did you guys write really quickly, or I mean, I'm guessing that it probably wasn't very good, but I
I mean,
mean,
it wasn't good at all. And the name wasn't good either. It was
well,
the name was called Stilt Zombie.
that's so bad.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
yeah. We stayed together for 2 years. And we ended up, we got signed to a little local label and
Oh,
stuff, and
dude,
Rock Shot Records,
rock
and
shot.
yeah,
By the way,
and
I didn't want. I want to keep your place there. Moving Dutchman gifted you a sub, and so just so you know, and look, everybody knows. Like, well, look, Travis doesn't know the etiquette, but when you get a gifted sub, you say thank you.
nope, thank you.
Look, I'm trying to hip you to the game, son. I'm trying. Hey, bro, you want to smoke a bowl? Yeah, of course. I went to the bathroom at the reception, and there was a wedding guest there in the final next to me. He looked at me in the eyes and said, "Hey, bro, you want to go smoke a bowl?" Hey, thank you for that woo. Wow, that's awesome, Papa Sweet. That sounds like an amazing wedding. Like, if only I have been to a wedding like that. I have not. I've only been to a wedding. I smoked that bowl with him. You better believe it. Damn right you did. But you earned that bowl. If you gotta drag motherfuckers out of the bathroom or out of the bar on their own wedding day, damn right you've earned that bowl. You damn right. You take that bowl and you smoke it. Anyways, so you got the zombies going.
Yeah.
And but you got signed. You got signed to a local.
I mean, we got signed, but didn't really do it. It was like this guy that just started a label for fun, and he thought it would be a cool thing to do. And
but that's so weird.
He recorded all the stuff himself. He released it all himself. It sounded awful. Like a few years ago, I went back and I was like, hey, I'm curious what this sounds like, and just not based on the musicality, because that wasn't good either for being, young and not knowing how to play guitar. Just listening to it as an engineer now, it was not good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Are you still friends with that guy who signed you, or do you talk to that person?
I haven't talked to him since I was in high school. I tried looking it up, a while back, and can't find him anywhere. The label doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if he is around anymore or alive.
Isn't that weird? Like, isn't that weird how fucking people will get a little money, or they might have a little money, and they're fans of music, and then so they'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna just start a label because I like music, and then it's like they find out how much is involved. How much you have to pay, it depending on what you're offering as a deal. So the deal was for you guys, and I know it was an independent, small, local deal, but the deal was what, like an album recording, and he would promote it?
Yeah, it was basically an album recording, and, he split the profits 50-50.
Ooh, how much did you make?
I mean, enough to buy more CDs.
Wow. Hey, but that's not bad. I mean, it's not very often that people make an album these days and recoup their money.
Yeah, I just remember when it was, I think it was my junior year or senior year of high school that we officially broke up, and we had to take our box of CDs that were unsold to this guy. I don't know what he was planning on doing with them, but he wanted them back.
He's like, I want those back.
No one's gonna buy them except our high school friends that went to shows,
Yeah, but he has them. He has them now. Yeah. They're in his possession.
I don't really know what that guy actually did for a living.
Wow.
I remember he had boxes of KY jelly just sitting around in his house, and I don't know what that was about.
That's what that was about right there.
Yeah.
That's what that was about, baby.
Maybe he did weird stuff, I don't know.
Hey,
but
whatever. You let it ride, man. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a big supporter of people with weird kinks in their private life.
Yeah.
Even if it's in their public life, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I just remember our parents, because we didn't drive, so our parents would drop us off at this guy's house in Napoleon, Ohio. And, they would never go inside, so they didn't know what was in there.
They didn't know he had cases of KYs.
So our parents would drive us to all the gigs and stuff, and I was like, Mom, you're never allowed to watch one of these shows because, for one of our songs was called "Kill Your Parents."
Oh,
and I love my parents, so yeah. And I did then too. So I was just peer pressured into playing this song.
I don't know, guys. I don't really like the content of this song. Shut up! Just play the fucking bass, bitch. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of how it was.
I get it, man. I was the bassist too. Look, I got my very first real band, and I say real with air quotes here. My first real band was it was 3 guitarists and a drummer, and it was we need a bass player, and they were just like, Mike, you're the worst at guitar, so you have to get the bass. So I had to beg my parents for a bass. And you know what? The motherfuckers ended up kicking me. His parents heard I used to talk to him all the time on the phone when people used to talk on the phone, and
Mhm.
the answering machine one time recorded our entire conversation somehow. And on that conversation, I'm talking about like dropping acid and smoking weed and stuff. So one day my dad drives me out there to drop me off for rehearsal, and his dad comes out there and he was just like, "Nope, nope, turn around and go. You're not welcome here anymore. You gotta go. You gotta go." And and when we were like, "Okay," and dude didn't say shit, and all he said, it was like, "Listen, you need help." That's what he said to me, and I was like, okay, and I was just so stoked that he didn't say why, and I
Yeah.
kind of figured why, and like me and my friend kind of talked it over, and and my dad drove away, and he was like, well, what the hell was that? I was like, oh, I did a video, and I put some stupid things on there about like killing babies or something, and he didn't like that, and so I'm guessing that's why he don't want me there anymore. And my dad was just like, "What? That doesn't even make sense." Which, the thing was is that I was like a really obnoxious kid, and a thing like killing babies, my dad wasn't surprised by. Like my dad was just like, "Huh, that's weird. Why would he care?" But it's like, I was a troubled youth. It's okay though. We got past it, kind of. It's okay, Travis. I silently pray that my parents will never decide to get into podcast and listen to mine. They would learn so many things I didn't. Oh my God, Papa Sweet, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. My mom figured out how to listen to my podcast, and it's just nightmare after nightmare. Okay, it's like I'm talking about shooting dope and fucking doing like the worst things that you could possibly do. It's just like, I know your fear of Papa Sweet. Papa Sweet, we've talked about this before, haven't we? I've known about your podcast. You've sent me something, right? Bro. Yeah, it's scary shit. Anyways, kill your parents. Anyways, so you did. You were afraid that your parents would see it. So did they ever come
No,
to
I
your?
mean, no, my parents knew about the song. I was just like, Mom and Dad,
I don't want.
I don't want to kill you.
You're so, Mom and Dad. Let me just, Mom, Pa. I want to say something right now. I'm gonna put it all out there. I don't want to kill you. Never have, never will.
Yeah, something a 15-year-old normally doesn't have to say.
Yeah, I don't want to kill you. I promise. It's just my asshole friends. Um, the, the did your parents ever see you guys perform then, or did they just heed your warning?
Uh, I don't think. I think I got them to never watch to never come to a show. I mean, my mom literally drove us to every gig we ever played in high school, and I was able to persuade her not to come in. So,
Wow. Well, that's some
so
good.
I got pretty lucky
Let me tell
because
you,
I'd be
if I
pretty
would
embarrassed.
if I would have told my mom not to come in, she would have been like, "Oh fuck you, I'm coming in." So, but she already knew that one. She knew that trick. Mom, don't come in. I don't want you to see it. It's like, oh bitch, I'm gonna see what you're doing. I'm gonna see
Yeah,
it. Whether or not I
yeah.
do something about it is a totally different thing. But I'm gonna see it, motherfucker. I sent her an RSS link that I knew she would be able to figure out. Oh, that's rude. That's rude, Papa Sweet. Papa Sweet, drop a link to your podcast in here. I think you can still drop links in here. I don't think I've do that, but drop a link so I can check it out, please. Um, so that was your first band. Did you guys play like what were like venues you guys were playing?
I around here we played. It was called the Bijou at the time. I don't even know what it's called anymore. It was the Zodiac, then Rocket Bar.
Is that the one over on Reynolds or something over on the
It's on Burn.
Burn? That's right, Burn
Yeah,
next to the strip club or something.
yeah. I played that. We played Rick's Cafe, which was terrible. It's like you got like fleas in your drinks, and
Oh.
the bathrooms are always sticky with who knows what. I mean, I have a feeling I know what it was,
Ugh.
but yeah, and we played there, and we played we played like Harpo's in Detroit.
Oh, cool,
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that was pretty cool. another one that was my mom drove us to. I'm going to talk about my mom again just because this is pretty funny. She drove us to Harpo's in Detroit, and then we went inside. We played the show. We were in there for probably like 2-3 hours, and she just waited outside in the middle of Detroit. Like this is like it's not a good area of
Yeah.
Detroit. And she literally had like cops drive up to her window, and they were like, "You shouldn't be here. It's after dark."
What are you doing, lady?
Yeah. And then like after the gig, we were like, "Oh, we need Little Caesars pizza." So we went to across the street was a Little Caesars with like bulletproof glass
Oh.
windows, and just like think of like a zombie horde of homeless people in
Yeah.
front of the building. So you come outside with your pizza box, and they're like trying to get your food.
This is food. Let me get a slice. I always love that. I always love the homeless people who are brazen enough to be like, "Let me get a piece of that." And I usually give them a piece too. It's like if I got some I can break off, I usually do it. But it's like it's so funny that it just some homeless people just don't give a fuck. And hey,
Yeah.
if you're sleeping on the streets at night, especially in a place like Toledo or Detroit, fuck. I get it. Am I doing it wrong? You might be. I might have put a ban on it. How do I? Reina, do you know how I allow people to do stuff, or do I have to set that command up? Anyways, you know what? Fuck that. Just send it. Will you send it a whisper, and I'll just drop it in the stuff. So if you can, just drop me a whisper, Papa, and then I'll put the link in there so everyone can get to it as well. But also, I want to get to it as well. Oh, permit. Okay, sweet. Well, I love that. I love that your mom was just sitting there in the hood of Detroit, just fucking waiting for the kids to get out of Harpo's. Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, there was a good experience, like
of course.
to kind of get that kind of stuff, fairly early on. And at the same time, I was playing in marching band, and I was in one of the marching bands that did competitions every weekend and stuff. So I kind of got two different versions of music at the same time. I got the like playing these, gross bars and venues, and playing like in stadiums and stuff,
Right.
and competing at the same time, which was, it was it kind of brought the two different things together, having fun and taking things seriously.
So on the other hand, you were doing stuff through school and playing. What you said something about stadiums? Like what?
Yeah, like I went to Maumee High School, and they have they had, not really anymore, but they had a serious marching band program. And most marching bands you play every Friday at football games and stuff, but this was one where, on Saturdays you would, drive to Columbus or Cleveland and compete against, all the other marching bands in the state or whatever.
So Maumee has a good band.
Yeah, they
They
did.
did.
It's not so great anymore. It's kind of the music program is kind of diminished quite a bit.
Well, you know what? I think because when did you graduate high school?
On 2009.
Oh, okay. So that was like right as the economic downturn kind of came and really hit Toledo and stuff hard. So after that, I know it was really crazy for funding, because after that a lot of funding dried up for schools, even in in California, in San Diego. There's this really very wealthy beach town called La Jolla. And it's gorgeous there, and it's just like a bunch of fucking rich surfers live there, and they're real particular about their waves, let me tell you, fucking assholes. But their elementary school, even the richest, one of like arguably the richest elementary schools in the city, cut art and music completely. And so what the parents did, which not every school district has this, but these parents are very, they're very have money. They're rich. They're rich motherfuckers. So they got together and they created a farmers market to raise money to pay teachers so they could have an art and music program at their school.
Wow.
Not everyone has that ability, and not every district has that good fortune, obviously. Like south side of Chicago, the school districts over there, I doubt if that's happening. What happens there is they just cut the programs and that's
Yeah.
it. And it's like the kids just, well, fuck you with art, fuck you with music. You're just gonna learn how to read and write and listen, and maybe you will. Maybe you're just gonna learn how to follow rules.
I mean, fortunately, it's like there's a lot more places to learn, instruments and stuff, just because of the growth of the internet and all the different
Right.
videos and stuff out there. Even since I was in high school, it's grown so much, and
Absolutely.
that was, I guess, I don't even 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess that was a little while ago, not too far, but yeah, it's just crazy how far the internet and just the social aspect of it has come in all these tutorial videos. So I mean, you're seeing, like, it's crazy watching these, like, 3-year-old or 6-year-old drummers and bass players and guitar players popping up, and they're just like shredding on
Just
the internet, and it's
fucking
like,
ripping.
yeah, it's like I don't understand how that even happened. It's
Dude.
like it just, I mean, it's just a lot of it has to do with being really gifted at it.
Right, having a propensity towards learning music or learning or just towards an instrument definitely helps. But I mean, I think you're right. The internet and YouTube really took over where all these like academies and music schools
Hmm.
and stuff failed, because I mean a lot of shit went wrong in 2008 2009, especially in the Midwest. And I'm witnessing this from afar. Like I'm in San Diego by this time, and out there it was shit too. Like the music scene was really disparate and stuff. And it wasn't until until the economy started kind of coming back to life that we saw more venues pop up in San Diego, where we saw more places to play, where we saw communities grow. And I think that's the whole thing, is like when there's a plenty of food, everybody's eating. But when
Hmm.
food gets low, shit gets real weird real quick. So it's like, um, in the midst of all that, Toledo as a music scene, when you're witnessing all this, how was it in your perspective, and were you even a part of it?
I mean, I was part of it. I say, by default, I guess, by playing in bands and stuff, but I never really made, when I was 15, 16 and playing shows and stuff, I never really made any lasting connections, that I necessarily have today. I mean, some of the musicians that I went to school with, we ended up playing together in other bands later on. But as far as, like, meeting other people in town that weren't part of my original circle, I never really made those connections until I started the studio, and then I started, promoting that and working with a bunch of different artists around town.
So you kind of stayed in the you just sort of stayed to yourself and sort of started creating your own little network of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as I when I was younger, I was a lot. I mean, I'm still a fairly quiet person,
Mm.
but when I was younger, I was even more so, and I was very much an introvert, and
Yeah.
it was hard for me to make connections with other people. So I had to, I just kind of followed everyone, and you know, played music with people, but just showed up to shows and played, and kind of took in the information and learned a lot, but didn't make didn't make connections. Even when I went to college for music, I didn't really make connections in college. It was really like the year after, when I was trying to, figure out how I was going to make everything work and make a living doing this, where I started to kind of try to get out of my shell and make connections, because connections are so important to a lasting for a lasting business, and just for a lasting so so just make it. I mean, it's if you don't have you have to people have to want to work with you, to make it as a recording engineer. You can't be like a quiet guy and and man, I don't even know where I'm going with this.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you really have to put yourself out there. Your network is your net worth. Like, and if you're not talking to people, if you're not putting out your business, I mean, like, especially a recording studio, and especially in a time where home recording is so affordable, so like,
Mm,
there the options to go and actually pay an engineer with the equipment, that option is for some just like that's not even like on their mind. It's like I got my nice microphone, I got my interface, and I got my laptop, and I'm going. So there's competition with just technology itself,
mm,
and so there's so much that goes into this. But if you don't have anybody to do it with, if you don't have anyone to record, if you don't have clients, if you don't have a good name in town, which
mm.
Travis has a good name in town, by the way, everyone. Like all my friends, most of my music friends here know Travis and love Travis, and I'm one of them. But like it is really important to maintain these relationships and to build relationships. And I find it interesting that like I always find it interesting that artists and musicians are always like introverts, but yet they
Yeah.
want to do these things where like they're in front of everybody doing all these things. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm an introvert, but don't look too hard. Uh, or you want to be behind the scenes, which makes sense as well.
Mm.
So how did you end up? So what made you? In college, what was your idea? What were you gonna do after college? What was your Were you just gonna try to be a musician? Like, did you always have the idea of?
Well, I mean, I kind of wanted to do both. I kind of
Mm,
wanted to be a musician and a recording recording engineer,
mm,
which I am, but I ended up becoming more or falling more in love with being a recording engineer and
mm.
how that process worked, how it combines, your musicality with your technical abilities. And that just felt more suiting to me and how I like to work versus when I was playing shows a lot, I got nervous before every show and just like uncomfortably nervous.
Hmm.
Until, unless we're like when we would at one point, we'd be playing, every couple weeks or something, and then another time we were playing multiple times a week. And it got better when I was playing multiple times a week because you get used to the playing in front of people. And then when you have a few weeks off from a gig, it just got harder again.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, naturally pushed myself towards being a recording engineer and working on that. Um, because it just not because I like the comfort of it,
Mm,
because I'm not in front of people except the people recording here, but because I just enjoy it more.
mm.
Um, I mean, it is just naturally more comfortable, but I do try to push myself to get better. I don't try to, I'm not never one to try to just plateau and just not continually improve at things.
Yeah. Yeah, which happens a lot with people. They hit this certain level of either playing or business or whatever it is. They hit this certain level of working out. That happens a lot with working out, especially for me. I plateau all the fucking time. Uh, well, not lately because I've been on the gain, being a fat fuck. So, um, the the yeah, like you get to these certain points and you don't push through, and some people just sort of like they're like, yeah, good enough, I'm done, I'm done, and
Yeah.
then meanwhile time passes and your equipment's dated now, and which isn't bad all the time, but still it's
Yeah.
like it's like if you get to a certain point, like I knew this guy who was an 80s metalhead, and he had this badass like recording studio and like video studio in Riverside, California.
Okay.
And he was super super critical on like digital effects and like all these things, and his studio, and this was like years ago, right before,
Mhm.
like digital was still good, you know, MIDI was pretty good, but like now MIDI and digital stuff is just out of control. Like it's so good now. You know, the sampling, it's so good. It really is hard to tell on certain things. Um, so I can see from that aspect, but he was very much into the old gear, which again, there's a market for old gear, but it was like the 80s shitty gear. Like what was that?
Like
What do you call, like, what's some shitty gear from the 80s that fucking we make fun of? I don't know. He had like Behringer amps and like
like the Bugera. Well, I mean, Bugera is not that old, but
the
yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about.
it's
Just
just
like
outdated
the
shit.
stuff that's meant for like the '80s hair metal that doesn't really work
Right. That doesn't
for
work for what
yeah
was
for most
happening. Yeah.
things.
So like he was so against it, and so when we were talking, he was just like he was just discriminatory towards like MIDI and shit, and I'm just like, wow, man, like I mean, you know, this is the future, and he's like, no, man, people are always gonna want hardware. It's like, bitch. Not only do people not want hardware, I just picked this up. Not only do people want fucking not only are people fucking abandoning these huge double fucking stacked Marshalls and trading it for fucking, you know, little combos, and like everything's smaller, everything went smaller, everything's going digital. And even to the point now where like pedals like this, this is a this is a shitty Joyo, which I'm not gonna tell everybody to go out and buy these yet. I'm still messing with it. Now this is like a mid grade, not even mid grade. This is about mid grade for the pricing. It's about mid grade because like one of the better pedals of these was about $400, and this was about 150 with a discount on Amazon. But this is an amp. This is an amplifier. This is a amplifier in. It's not only an amplifier. It's fucking 9 amplifiers. So not only do I have fucking, you know, a twin reverb or a fucking, you know, a Marshall stack, you know, I have just I just Vox. I got a whole fucking array of shit in this box. In this fucking box. And so when you think about people who sort of hit these points and then like don't try or not interested in trying, you tend to get left behind. And like I don't know how good that guy's doing. You know, I haven't talked to that man in over 15 years, but it's like I can't imagine he's doing great. You know, like I can't imagine he's fucking burning up the fucking Southern California scene with his shit equipment. But and the thing is that, you know, like especially buying old equipment like that, and especially him being who he was from the time period he was from, is like that equipment was super expensive when he bought it. So like in his mind, he's like, done. I'm done. I just spent like 50 grand on all this shit. And I'm done. And that's it forever. And then it's like, well, that's not really how it works. Have you ran into any of those problems where you're like, where your shit's starting to become dated, or like you're just like, or are you finding yourself upgrading a lot? And I'm guessing that probably upgrades are more in the sense of like, you know, upgrading like plugins and digital stuff, but it applies to hardware too. But
Yeah, I use a ton of hardware, and I use a ton of digital effects and digital emulation stuff.
mhm,
So it's really for my style you know of engineering, I like to get as much as I can into the box the way it sounds
mhm,
versus like playing through a DI box and then using amp modelers afterwards.
right.
So I kind of fall in this kind of gray area, where because the kinds of bands I work with are more, it's like I do a lot of like country and blues and Americana and folk.
Yeah,
And
they want
yeah,
real
so they want,
instrumentation. Yeah.
you've been to the studio. I've got stacks of amps, a real piano, Fender Rhodes. I've got the Hammond organ.
Yeah.
So I've got, I try to have something, real that for pretty much anything you'll need for the most part. And when I don't have something, I will, go towards digital. Like, one of my favorite plugins for bass is a B15 plugin because I don't have a Ampeg B15 bass amp.
Right.
So I mean I've got I've got tons of hardware stuff, or I've got tons of digital hardware emulation. I mean, most of the plugins I used are digital emulations of old, like LA2As and 1176, old hardware, and if I could have the real stuff, I would, but there's really, so for how close it is, there's really not necessarily a need to have it.
Yeah.
When you can spend $50-$100 on a plugin versus $2,000-$2,500.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really, I've got a few really good hardware pieces that I'll use for mixing, but for the most part, I'll mix in the box. And a lot of the hardware stuff I use recording, so I don't have to use it during mixing, because I like to be able to bounce down. I don't like to bounce down in real time, which you have to do if you use hardware units. So when I'm bouncing a mix, it's like it takes 20 seconds to bounce out versus the length of the song.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully
So
it's not a 30-minute song, right?
yeah.
Sitting
I
there.
mean,
That's that Pro Tools shit, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize Pro Tools upgraded like that or updated to not being in real time
Yeah,
anymore.
it was,
You
I
have
think,
that option.
around 2010.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they finally got away from the real-time bounce down, which was a game changer for Pro Tools users.
Yeah, well, no shit. Like I remember, like in like 2005, using that Pro Tools and fucking being like, "Are you serious?" And I used to like not know how to arrange music, so my songs would be like 20 minutes long of just a bunch of shit just smashed together, So I'd just be sitting there for 20 minutes, and then you would hear a fucking like thing in the mix, and you'd be like, "That sounds like shit,"
Yeah.
and then you'd have to cancel it and start all fucking over. It's just like, God damn you.
On the rare occasion that I do bounce down real time because I'm like mixing and I'll be using, some outboard compressors or things. There are the occasions, like you said, where you'll hear, just for the nature of hardware, you'll hear like some little like not a pop, but like a little tick sound or something, just from the capacitors or something doing something. And you'll be like, okay, gotta rebounce down the whole thing, and until hopefully it goes through clean.
Go through clean, goddammit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did kind of answer this, but maybe there's some more you can add. Do you enjoy working with hardware like instruments, microphone, pedals, speakers, or software like DAWs, effects, EQ, and samples?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of out of the, I don't do a lot of sample stuff because of the kind of music I do record. It's more based on the group writing a song and bringing it to me, and then we go and record it with real microphones and instruments. I mean, I'll do some, like, as far as like, I don't necessarily do samples, but I do some looping and stuff with like percussion instruments and some of this music, just because it's so quick and easy to do now. If we want a shaker, have them do 4 bars of a shaker, and then I'll just loop it through for consistency.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I tend to stay on the verge of, you want things to sound clean. You want it to sound, I say commercial, but the most people are used to listening to a certain level of thing, like just not even talking about musicians or anything. If they hear if a normal, I say normal person, but if somebody just that enjoys listening to music is listening to something and it's not recorded to a click track and there's tons of speed ups and slow downs, a lot of times they can tell, and so consistency is important, for modern music. But there's also times where I won't record to a click track just because some of the artists I work with can't record to a click track, or it just sounds better naturally for them to play it without a click track.
Yeah, well, the first reasoning, I don't know, like, because I still have trouble with click tracks, and I'm somebody who likes to practice with click tracks, but I'm just that kind of asshole. But moving Dutchman, I forgot you gifted a sub to Bigfoot Studios, so you get your name on my arm. There you
Oh,
go.
cool.
Just like Indie Fox, right, guys?
Nice. You using a Sharpie?
Yes, I'm an idiot.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. There it is. There you go.
Get that tattooed later.
There you go, moving Dutchman. I hope you like your name on it. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell that was. All right, get out of there. Anyways, there you go, moving Dutchman. That was for you. But I do feel like the click tracks are weird because I still have trouble with them. Have you have you seen somebody just like sweating it and trying to get it and because when you're in a studio setting, you're paying by the hour. So when you're sitting there struggling with a click track, there's this mounting pressure that's already there. I mean, how have you witnessed this? I mean, have you witnessed someone
I've
take
witnessed
hours? Yeah, I know. I'm sure you have.
I mean, a lot of times people just can't record to a click track, like it's not in their DNA or something. So, and a lot of that comes with some of the like singer-songwriter type artists. So usually that ends up being a really a tough one for me sometimes, just because the editing process is going to be extremely very long and afterwards.
What goes in? Oh, please finish what you were gonna say.
Yeah, because singer-songwriter, they'll naturally, if they can't record to a click track, there'll be speed ups and slow downs, and if they want to add like drums or other instruments, they have to record to the artist doing this. So afterwards, because I like my stuff to have a certain quality, when it comes out of here. I spend a lot of time afterwards being sure everything is consistent with each other, so it sounds like the group is doing these changes together.
Yeah.
So it, those ones are fun in a different kind of way. Just it tests my abilities, as far as editing and doing things manually, because there's no Pro Tool shortcuts for someone that can't play to a click track. It's like there's tons of ways to line up people to a grid if they're playing to a click track,
right?
At least close to the click track. But there's nothing to fix someone that can't.
Yeah, that's tough. So like, how do you do that if someone leaves the studio and like you're just not able to get them to record to a click? What do you do? What I mean, do you just take a piece that works and then just loop it, or like?
I work with the whole track, and then I try to fix anything that's obviously like a rhythmic error. I manually fix it, by shifting things around in Pro Tools. And then when the drummer or bass or or strings or whatever they add to it come and play, they won't match up perfectly. So I'll have to shift things around to match the original part, which most of the time is the acoustic and the vocal. So I'll just be looking at the Pro Tools grid and lining up transients of, say, kick and snare to the down beats on the acoustic guitar, things like that. And it's a long process, and
tedious.
Very tedious. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing it, but it's a lot more fun for me when I can get to the mixing part a lot sooner.
No, I feel you. I feel you there.
Editing is fun, and it's great to listen to a before and after of something unedited versus edited. But if I can get the edit done sooner and start the mixing, that's kind of where things come to life in another way.
Yeah.
So it's a interesting time for sure, working with non-click track songs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean the fact that you're able to do it in a way that sounds reasonable and doesn't sound all
Mhm.
fucked up, like that ability to do that just came with digital editing because you
Yeah.
weren't doing that with tape. I mean,
Oh, you
I guess,
slice the tape every like a micro
right,
or every
but you
millis.
But what's interesting? I talked to a lot of old heads, on the show who recorded with fucking Motown and
Mm-hmm.
these different recording studios, and that's one thing that they're consistent about is like, man, is like back in the day you had to know how to play your instrument
Yeah.
because there was no fucking looping, there was no quantizing, there was none of this shit, there was no shifting and
Yeah.
slicing shit up every fucking millisecond. It's like, nah, son, you had to fucking be on
Yeah.
point and you had to be on your instrument. And I mean, do you think that with the way technology is, do you think that it is allowing people to become more, less
Less proficient in
yeah,
their
less
instrument.
proficient at their instrument?
Yeah, I do honestly think that that's the case. People jump in too soon to, creating. I mean, it's great to create your own music, but people jump in too soon to releasing their music
Mhm.
to say on Spotify or things. Um, I mean, I think I really do think, an artist should really take the time to learn their instruments and get to a certain level before they, officially put something out. You know, um, I mean, there's I've heard a lot of great artists. I've heard some, not so great, but good. And then there's some that I don't necessarily know why they're doing that.
It's like, why are you doing this and why are you doing it to me?
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I feel you. You know, it was funny last time I was at your studio. We were kind of talking about, a band where the bassist was sort of just doing whatever they felt like, and then,
Mhm.
but it is like, oh my god, it's just like if there's one member of the band who is not at least equal to the proficiency of the rest of the band, or I mean, you can not be the
Yeah.
greatest, but you could be on fucking key. And
Hmm.
especially as a bassist, you don't have to be a fucking amazing rock star bassist to just hit the fucking root notes. Like you could just go
Yeah.
do do do, hitting quarter notes and shit.
Exactly.
Do it, son.
Yeah. It's a, people, I mean, and a lot of it comes with inexperiences.
Yeah.
People playing too much most of the time. That's, you know, because they don't know their place in the band. And not saying their place is lesser or greater
Mm,
value or anything. It's just they don't know what works with playing in a band.
yeah.
Because I'd rather take, like you said, a bass player that's, just hitting on the kick and the snare than somebody that's, noodling around and playing 20 too many notes.
Yeah, that doesn't even go there. Those notes don't
Yeah.
go there, son. Like, fucking step back a few.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to like tell an artist or a band or something like, hey, I don't think you're ready for this. Like, maybe I'll give you like, here's your money back. Like, maybe you should come back in a month.
I've never told anyone to leave.
Get out.
But I have had the times where I have to, really step in as far as like a producer role.
Mm,
More of an unexpected producer role when
right.
when I'm working with a less experienced group, just to help them kind of figure out what needs to be played, and what's going to really make their song work.
Mm,
Um, at least based on, my opinion. And opinions are subjective, but I tend to think, if an artist comes to me to record, they, for the most part, respect what I have to say.
yeah.
So, I've had to tell bass players to chill out and, play less notes. And, a lot of it's similar. Like I call them noodlers, the guys that just noodle around and don't really know what a bass part is.
Yeah.
And it seems it's just the most common with bass players. Guitar players too,
Yeah.
for somewhat. I've had guitar players that noodle around, but but the band gives me full range to edit whatever I want afterwards, so I can kind of turn it into something that works.
Yeah.
Or just lightly have some noodles somewhere here and there, but
Right, right. Yeah, it doesn't need to be everywhere, all over everything,
yeah,
stepping on the vocals and shit. It's like,
yeah,
come on,
exactly.
bro. Just leave some room for the rest of the band. But yeah, those have you had to like deal with ego in regards to that kind of shit where you're like you're trying to correct it or you're just being like, "Hey man, you're making my job hard." Whatever it is, have you had like pushback and had to deal with that kind of ego? And it doesn't even have to be in
Yeah,
this kind of setting. It could just be in like, no, this is how it is, kind of thing. But
yeah. I mean, I've definitely dealt with some, people with egos, and usually I'm able to, part of being a recording engineer is kind of, you're kind of like a psychologist, and you learn to judge people really quickly,
mm,
when they come in and what kind of person they are, not even what kind of musician they are.
right,
So I learned to, I'll know pretty quickly if this is a person that will want my advice, or if it's just somebody I've just got to ride the ride with, and
yeah,
let them do whatever whatever they are gonna do.
mm,
So for the most part, I get people that are, want me to help them, through the process and want input and stuff. But there is the occasional person where I just have to kind of sit back and just do my job versus be part of the creative process.
right, yeah,
Um,
and like because I've been in situations where the recording engineer does kind of turn into like a producer because
yeah.
because sometimes people come in there and they're inexperienced
Mhm.
and they're just like they just don't even know or like and they're like writing in the studio. It's like, oh, your song's not even done, or like like I've been in an experience before where like the band, it was a bigger band, and when we went to record, there were parts of the song that were just in the live setting, and there was and we never addressed it, but like
Mhm.
like the changes were always off, and like there was never really right, and that's how we played it live, and we just
Yeah,
sort of let it go because we just inexperience of like not really
yeah.
focusing and doing
I, and I get that kind of stuff a lot. Like a lot of the ones I see are where, like you're talking about changes where people will be changing on, say, the one or the three, if we're talking in like a four bar,
mhm.
or they'll be changing, other guys will be changing on the end of, four,
Yeah.
or,
Right.
just those like slight inconsistencies that make for a sloppy, like sounding song.
Right.
So those are the kind of things that, do have to be addressed. It's like, and more so it's me like saying, okay, which one of you is right? And who's gonna fix it?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, it was like we need to make that decision here together, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
We all have to be on the same thing here, guys. It is weird, man. It's weird recording with like bands and stuff like dealing with the different personalities. It's just so interesting because like I've been in situations too where like the engineer is kind of grumpy and like not
Mm,
really, like not really happy to be there that day or something. And then the band's like arguing and stuff. So there's all this like, I miss playing music with humans. Yeah, I feel you, pizza. I feel you. I feel you. It's gotten weird, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's I don't know, man. Like dealing with personalities, dealing with is that sometimes taxing for you? Is that something? I mean, especially as an introvert, is like dealing with
um,
these kind of bigger personalities, consistent like this. Is that something that's? I mean, do you like that part of the job?
it really depends. Like I like it some, and I also it really depends on the personality and
Mm,
how much of, you know what what we're talking about. But for the most part, I can deal with it and be fine. A lot of times the session will be over and I'll have a, massive headache or
oh my god.
things like that,
Yeah.
just because I can't really say or do what I want, just because I know it's not going to it's not the type of artist that wants to hear it, you
Yeah.
know. So those are tougher situations. But for the most part, you know, I'm fine. I'll, you know, do my job and help make their, you know, song the best it can possibly be. Um, and you know, so I guess depends on the depends on the person.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
It's always it's dealing with random people, or you're dealing with randos a lot, just because you might make contact with a band, but you talk to one person, and then the band
Mhm.
shows up, and then you got the assholes who are
Yeah.
drunk or doing drugs or whatever it is.
Yeah. And
It's
then there's all the guys that think they're recording engineers that are fun to deal with.
backseat engineers, son.
Yeah. So those are the ones that are tough to deal with, because I can't, you know, as a professional, you know, person, I try to, you know, lean towards, I try to be as professional as possible.
Of
I can't
course.
exactly, you know, talk back or say things, you know, and say, oh, you're stupid, or or,
Right.
you know, it's like I'm not
Fuck
trying
you.
to start arguments. It's like I can't be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. It's like that's not even a thing, you know.
What you just told me is not even a thing, sir. You should just leave now. Yeah, that must be fun. I mean, because like I know that because I have a limited understanding of engineering and mixing and stuff like that. I know that I've been that guy who's been like, no, we gotta do it like this. Just don't pan it hard, a hard right, pan it hard right, and then everything's gonna be good. And they're like,
Yeah.
no,
And,
no, it
and
won't.
you know, I'm pretty good at translating, like everyone's, you know, a mixing engineer, at least they think they are. So it's like they'll be saying stuff in some weird way and be like, you know, can you make the guitar sound like more angry? Or can
Yeah,
you you know, or some like weird, you know, definition that really doesn't apply to a guitar necessarily.
yeah,
And I'll be like, okay, I think I know what you mean, you know.
sure.
So you get to learn quickly how to translate what weird things people come up with to describe something.
Yeah, well, I do you what is their name? LTD Sound System. Have you ever heard of LTD Sound System?
I haven't, no.
Um, they were like part of like that party indie rock movement back in the early 2000s, like in New York. They were part of like the Strokes, like the Strokes. They hit
Okay.
it big back in that time when rock and roll was kind of coming back. Um, so their band was pretty big, and they're pretty still big for. I need more sparkle on that triangle, please. Exactly. But the guy who does the band, who's the lead of the band, LTD, he's also a recording engineer and producer. And I might be getting this wrong. It's been a long time since I read the book, but they used to say like he was so good because he'd be working with people who might not be full on musicians. And sometimes that's so awesome. Like sometimes that's really cool to work with bands who aren't necessarily musicians, but they are so in tune with their art that it doesn't matter, right? Because it's like they're so tight. It's like they might know only like 5 chords, and barely be able to play that shit, but they play it in a way that sounds beautiful, and they are able to come together and make these simple pieces fit together really well into something that's amazing. And
Hmm.
so when you're dealing with people who aren't actually musicians and they don't know the actual terminology, so they were saying, I really like working with that guy, I forgot his name, from LTD, because I could say, I need it to sound blue. Can you make it sound blue? And they're just like, yep, coming right up. And then they make it sound blue. And so that ability to sort of translate what people are trying to tell you, especially in that setting of engineering and producing, because you're capturing sound, right? You're capturing a certain vibe that they want. And they might be able to hear it in their head, but they might not be able to explain it that well to you. So they're just saying like angry guitar, and you're like, angry guitar coming up.
Yeah.
but if you were gonna sit there with them and you're like, well, can you give me, like what kind of what kind of frequency? Where would it sit? Between what and what? Or like,
Yeah.
like what do you want? Higher mids? Like what do you want? What do you want the sound to be? You want it to be kind of a washed out sound, whatever it is. Which, by the way, none of what I just said is actual engineering terms. I'm just making shit up right now. But you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And it's like, and to be able to do that and to be able to like do, I mean, that's a skill of all of on its own. Uh, what when someone tells you something like I need it to sound red, like what would you translate that in? Like I need the piano to sound red in your head. What would you translate that
I
to?
haven't had too many people ask me for colors, but when I think of red, I would tend to think of something a little more, mid-rangey, a little harsher,
Hmm.
punchier.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna bring back the word angry. Red goes with angry.
Yeah. Heat,
So
heavy. Yeah.
yeah, so just like heavier.
Yeah.
So I tend to probably make things just kind of more in your face.
Yeah. Bring it up front a little more. Maybe
Yeah,
a little more something. Give it some more something.
yeah.
What do you think about the use of compression? There's some people who are like, which that's a weird question. What do you think about the use of compression? But there are some engineers who are like compression is cheating. What do you think of that? How's that falling?
I think compression is a tool, just like anything, like an equalizer, or um, and we can even go as far as saying it's, like an effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a good tool for getting things to sit in a mix.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of times you won't need a compressor if the musician is like a lot of compression is used on drums fairly often to tame dynamics. Like say the snare is not he's hitting the snare slightly different every time, and sometimes it's softer, sometimes it's louder.
Right.
You can use compression to kind of even that out. But a lot of times you get drummers that just naturally like they do the same hit every time,
Right.
which works great for certain styles of music. And a lot of
Mm.
times you get drummers that are more dynamic, and you don't want to kill the dynamics either. So, it's a tool. It can be used and it can be abused. It can be it can really it can destroy a mix very easily, but it can also help it a lot.
Well, what's an example of how compression might be abused? What
A
kind of
lot of
case?
a lot of times when I'm thinking of abused like compression and,
Mm-hmm.
and things, I think of limiting, which is a form of compression.
Mm-hmm.
And the loudness war that was going on for so long.
Right. It has to be. It
That
has
that
to be
was an
fucking
abuse
right.
of compression. It's
Yeah.
just it's how you just it's like you work so hard on a mix, and then
Mm.
you know people want it so loud afterwards
All
that
right.
you just smash it with a compressor to get
Mm-hmm.
it loud.
Right.
Um, so there's really it pretty much destroys what you worked on. If you
Right.
really because you can hear all this ducking happening.
Mm-hmm.
When I say ducking, like when he's hitting a snare and the compressor's catching it, you can hear that like happening,
Yeah.
and like pumping and different things, which pumping is used in music now, like a lot of like hip hop and stuff, and it's works great for
Yeah.
that. But if you got a folk song or or something and it's like pumping and stuff, it's
Right.
like,
You
that doesn't exactly work for.
Yeah, you don't need that compression chain fucking thing in there or whatever.
Yeah,
What do they call that? What's the technique called? It's
parallel compression.
parallel compression where you can put it on like a kick and then have the kick sort of duck um
Oh,
the bass
that's
out.
just called ducking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's ducky.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You send the
oh,
kick
you're gonna come
through a
on my show
bus.
and correct me, Travis? Is that how it's gonna be?
Oh,
The perf-
you were right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding. I
No,
don't. By the way,
it's
you do this every fucking day. I do this like anytime Reina needs me to do something, or I need to make a new stupid video or something dumb. So it's like I totally have stepped away from even trying to do this on a professional level, only because I know that I'm not willing to put in that time to really, really, really be good at it because that's just not what I'm interested in. But it is fun. I mean, like, what I've found really fun to do in my older years is micro editing is fun for me. Like, just, fucking, just, cleaning up the dead space between phrasing and
Yeah.
cleaning shit up and having little micro fades at the end of the that kind of shit has become kind of fun for me, and it's
Mhm.
like so tedious, and it's something that I've hated to do in the past, but it's like wrapping up chords, setting up for a gig or setting up for stream or putting stuff away. Like in my older years, it's become so fun for me. Like I just enjoy wrapping cables and putting stuff away, putting stuff where it's supposed to go. Unless I'm in a hurry, then it just goes wherever I put it. And I don't know. Is that something that you found that you like to do? I mean, as someone who has to put equipment away and bring it out and micro edit and do all these, you're constantly moving stuff around. Is that something you enjoy? Do you enjoy
Yeah,
that
I
part of it?
mean, it's a really very tedious thing to do, but
Mm,
it's enjoyable to do. But for the most part, the joy I get out of it is the after editing.
mm,
Like when I listen back and be like, okay, all this like little stuff that I just did and spent tons of time on makes a big difference in
yeah.
the end. It just takes it to a whole nother level of, clean sounding and just professional. And it's just I do a lot of that, where I usually am like, okay, listen to the before editing, I listen to after editing, and then move on to mixing. I'll listen to my mix, then listen to before mixed,
Mm,
then do the same thing for mastering and mixing, just because I'm listening like, okay, what did I really do here to improve, this song? Because it's a big part of the learning process too. It's knowing if you did something that didn't work, you want to know that and know not
mm.
to do it the next time, or know when to use it and not use it.
Right.
So it's like a big part of, the job is I'm always learning and always learning what works for certain things. That way I can do them quickly when the time comes. Um, because no one wants to sit around and watch me, edit stuff and, oh, how do
You,
I,
you'd be surprised.
line up the kick and the snare or
Dude, you'd be surprised. I mean, honestly, I think it would be really interesting if you started just screen capturing, and streaming your process. Like people
yeah,
do it all the time. People do production all the time, and people love it for whatever reason. People just love hanging out. They love it. I mean, if you're talking about expanding your streams in a way that where like you're not relying on the people for content, I mean, you're a content creator all the time just by what you're doing. So you could, I mean, of course, this is if you want to like go through this kind of shit. I mean, the thing is that you've already gone through all the pain and struggle of learning how to stream,
yeah,
especially on the level that you are streaming on. That it's already set up. Really, it would just really just be like, I mean, if anything, this would be the easiest part of streaming that you do.
yeah,
Just something to think about if that's something that you would be interested in. But I'm telling you, people, they're just editing audio, and people are just hanging out, or they're making tunes, or they're producing or whatever, and people
mm,
love that shit, man. They really do. Yeah, see, I watch people do production sometimes. I like it. Oh my goodness. How dare you, moving Dutchman? I got a couple of questions here because I mean now I'm in like recording mode, and like I'm a
yeah.
fucking nerd, so like this is where I love this shit.
No,
Uh so what when you're trying to, we'll do that, Dutchman. Just give me a second here. Let me ask a couple questions first because I don't want to lose them because I'm really good at losing questions. So when you're mastering something, what are you listening back on? And like some people listen to their in their car, and then they'll listen on their iPhone, and then they'll listen on their monitors, and then they'll listen, like Jack White. Something that I love that Jack White does, because me, I'll go out to the car and listen if it sounds good in the car, and I'm like, fuck it, it's out. We're putting it out there. Um, but like Jack White, what he has is he has like a transmitter that transmit his song. He can transmit anything, music, into his car. So it's
Mm.
like it's a little tiny radio station basically that only has
Yeah.
so many, can only project so far.
Yeah.
And he'll go to his car and fucking, if it sounds good, broadcast through his radio. He's like, the master is done. So
Hmm.
how do you check your masters and your mixes? What are you
Yeah.
listening
So
on?
it's a fairly similar process to what you mentioned,
Mm.
but like for mixing, obviously I'll be listening, for most of the time on the studio monitors
Mm.
that I have. And I also use Sonar Works, which is great. It kind of tuned your room for you so
Oh
that
yeah.
if there's any inconsistencies in the room you're listening in, it kind of EQs them out,
Oh
so you're
wow.
listening in a more flat frequency.
Oh wow, that's interesting. And like,
Um,
is that one of the ones where they have like that noise that goes? You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, well, it's like a noise calibration
Yeah.
or a sound calibration program. You basically use a calibration microphone and set up your monitors in the room you're in, and if there's any, say, like nulls in the sound or
Mm.
where frequencies are too much or too little, it will kind of make up for those. Um,
There you go,
so
Pizza Man.
so that's one thing I do, and that's more so I have that on all the time,
Oh, okay.
because but as far as like, referencing and listening to my mixes and stuff, I'll be listening on, I sum my stereo mixes to mono, and I use a little Oratone speaker, which is
Mm.
like basically sounds like a mid-rangey speaker, like a radio, kind of like what you're talking about, Jack
Yeah.
White's kind of thing. And then I'll also, email it to myself, listen in the car,
Mm.
um, listen on the phone. Basically, any places I can listen to, I'll listen to it. And for the most part, it, it sounds like I want it to sound.
Mm.
It used
Just
to be
just
the
from
complete.
just from what you have set up in your
Yeah,
own
just from
space.
experience
Yeah.
too, and knowing how things sound and how things translate on what
Mm.
I work with. Um, so experience is a huge part of it, and just tuning your ear to be listening for, you know, things that will, translate to, say, most things people listen to,
Right.
or most things people listen on. I mean,
Mm.
so it's just it's a for the most part, I do listen in my car, and
Mm.
I listen in mono and some everything, which is mostly to be listening for any phasing or polarity problems. So thinness of sound,
Yeah.
um, if anything is uh, canceling each other out. Like you'd be surprised. Like a lot of the stuff I hear, like when you or things that I've gotten from other studios or things that I've worked on, all these little things, like, say, for the most part, people record with two overhead mics on drums, and a lot of times the one of the mics is out of phase and out of polarity from the other, so it's just super thin sounding. um so it's just little things like that that you learn to listen for and learn to fix, that really help the final product.
Right. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Is like as years go on, and I do more and more mixing and stuff. It's like you hearing the subtleties of just like for instance the other day I was like, man, my guitar sounds so fucking muddy. It's just doesn't. It's not popping out. And so I was looking at the EQ, and there was nothing. Like nothing was done to the guitar, first of all. So I was just like, well, there's first a problem. And all I did was cut out the low end, the low end of the frequency.
Hmm.
And just by doing that subtle thing, it like made the guitar pop like crazy.
Hmm.
And all you're doing is taking out the low end, or the muddled, or the mud basically of the sound that's not even really picked up, but it's just putting off these shitty frequencies that's fucking up the rest of the mix.
Hmm.
And you just eliminate those frequencies by cutting that off. Like it stood out on its own, and it made, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is like it's crazy. And the fact that it was just, I'm just giving myself a pat on the back here, Travis. That's really all I'm doing. But it was just amazing that I was able to hear it and it was able to come through. So, it just means I'm getting better at my ears are getting better. And
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like, to me, that's fucking so fun to see progress. All right. Let me get Baby Yoda. Let me get Baby Yoda here. Let me see if I can. Everybody, we gotta summon Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, are you out there? Baby Yoda, ooh. Baby Yoda, ooh. Baby Yoda, ooh. Baby Yoda, are you there? Hello, Baby Yoda. Can you hear me, Baby Yoda? Are you there? Hello, Baby Yoda. Hello? Baby Yoda? Oh, shit. Yeah, there. I don't. Oh, Baby Yoda. There you are. Hello?
Hi.
Hey, Baby Yoda. What's up? Boom. There he is. Baby Yoda, how are you doing?
Amazing.
Amazing. Oh my God. Amazing. It's like, why are you doing amazing? What happened that made your day so amazing?
My mom ripped out one of my teeth.
Oh my God. What a barbarian. Why would she
But it
do?
was wiggly.
It was wiggly.
Yeah.
You had, oh, your baby teeth are falling out.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's dope. Mama Yoda does exist. That's right, Dutchman. We're learning new stuff about the Star Wars universe today. So Baby Yoda, what are you gonna do with your missing front teeth?
I'm gonna give it to the tooth fairy.
Ooh, did you have you done the tooth fairy thing yet? Have you gotten any money yet?
Yes.
Ooh.
Today I actually got $20.
What, for a tooth? For a rotted out tooth?
Yes.
I like those exchange rates, son. That's better than my Bitcoin's doing right now. I should just start yanking teeth out of my head and invest in myself. Baby Yoda, do you have a question for today's guest, Travis Geiman of Bigfoot Studios here in lovely Toledo, Ohio?
Yes.
What is your question, please?
How old are you?
Great question. Travis Geiman, how old are you?
I am 30 years old.
He is 30 years old. Baby Yoda, what do you think of that?
Amazing.
Amazing. Wow, that's great.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for Travis?
Yeah.
And what would that be?
What's your favorite thing to do?
What is your favorite thing to do? Travis, what is your favorite thing to do?
Oh my gosh, so close. My favorite thing to do is probably, listen to music, hang out with my wife, the normal kind of things, I guess. Nothing too strange.
Nothing too strange. Well, you're in the wrong place then. Well,
Uh-oh.
Travis says he likes to hang out with his wife and listen to music. What do you like to do, Baby Yoda?
Use my Yoda phone.
Use your Yoda phone?
Yeah.
That's all you do? You're just on your Yoda phone all day?
Well, it's something I like to do.
Well, your Yoda mom maybe need to step in and not let you just stare at a device all day.
Don't worry, I did some Yoda schoolwork.
Oh, good. Travis, do you have a question for Baby Yoda before we let him go?
How old are you, Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda, how old are you?
Uh, I'm mostly. I am 50 and still baby.
Oh, you're 50 but still a baby. Yeah, because
Wow.
in Yoda years,
Yeah, that's real young in
that's
Yoda
real
years.
young. Yeah. So, baby Yoda, thank you so much for coming on the show and being a part of the show as usual. I really appreciate it. Do you have any final words before you go?
Have a great day.
Oh, and may the force
Oh,
be
thank
with
you.
you. May the force be with you, baby Yoda. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much, bud. All right, baby Yoda, everybody. Oh, jeez. There he is, baby Yoda. Everybody, there he is. There you go, moving Dutchman. That was your redemption. You can use your points to talk to Baby Yoda or Baby Groot. You can also use your points to ask questions from the guests, and you can also use your points to hear Hot Boy Summer or a song from our lovely collection of music, which only consists of 2 songs. All right, guys. I got a couple more questions here, and then we gotta do one more thing before we let Travis go here. So so what? How do you fight ear fatigue? How do you fight ear fatigue?
By listening at lower levels and mixing at lower levels. I try not to blast. I'll listen a little bit louder for short stints of time. But for the most part, I'll be mixing at very low levels, because a lot of times you can hear, especially like bass placement and things like that, while listening softer.
Really?
Yeah, because when you crank things up, you're kind of, your room starts to act more, and like the bass in the room starts to
Yes.
resonate. So when you're listening lower, you're not, it's not affecting you as much like what you're hearing.
Yeah, the spatial whatever, right? Like you're not hearing the bass bounce off your back corner and sort of amplify itself or however that
Yeah,
works.
because you go around, play something in your room, and sit where you normally sit, but sit in the back, sit in the middle. It sounds different pretty much everywhere. And you get kind of used to where you're sitting, and like where I'm sitting right now, and this is where I am mixing. I have like a cloud above me and stuff, so I'm not hearing as much of the reflections off the walls
What's
or
a
things.
cloud?
It's made out of rock wool. It's like absorption material that's placed above your head.
Yeah. I have one
Um,
here too, by the way.
okay.
Oh, all right. Good for you. No, I just because people don't know, like people listening is like, there's a cloud in your studio, like you
Yeah,
got
it
clouds.
rains sometimes.
That does well, for the electronics. But yeah, I get you. So listening at lower levels is definitely a good way to sort of prevent fatigue. I've heard that before, but but for me it's so weird because like I just feel like that's just rookie shit though. It's like where you like, if I don't hear it and I don't feel it thumping against my chest, this shit ain't mixing, bitch. So yeah, that's some rookie shit. But yeah, that's legit. That's legit. What is there a particular technique in recording or mixing that you've recently learned or are trying to learn? Something that you've mastered in the past, though, or anything like that. Is there a technique that you've recently learned, or that you had, like, so is there any barriers that you had to get past, or in mixing before you could become
Yeah, I
the
mean,
Travis?
become me. I mean, like, I guess one of the things that I've gotten the most proficient at over the years is, placing microphones and learning how to think in the mind kind of a microphone. Because microphones all have their own characteristics, and learning to know what microphones will work best with different sources and different instruments is kind of something you learn over time, and also learning because I do a lot of live recording and things like that, learning where to place microphones so I get less bleed of different instruments. Because say like if I see a lot of stuff like people just a lot of live sound guys just throw mics on a drum kit and that's it,
Right.
don't really know, don't think about, they just point them at the drum and that's it.
Yeah.
You can, if you point a mic at any point of the drum head, it's going to sound different.
Right.
And knowing kind of where to point it to get the sound that the artist wants is a skill that, takes some time to develop.
Right. Mighty, thank you so much for that gifted sub. Mighty, you gifted a sub, so you're getting your name on my arm right here. Right on the hairy part. Mighty. There you go. All right, Mighty, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Manford, beep boop, welcome 100110011. Oh, Manfred the robot, welcome in. I appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. We're just having a hot tub stream with our friend Travis Geiman of Bigfoot Studios. We're having hot tub streams, and anybody who subs today gets their name on my arm. So there you go. That's what we're doing today. Okay, Travis, I've been having since you're an audio engineer, maybe you can help me. I've been having some weird issues with sound lately. I don't know if you can hear it. It's been going off on and on, but I don't know. Can you hear it? Do you hear that sound?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
What the hell is that? It's just been randomly.
It sounds like you have a MIDI flute player in your studio somewhere behind you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think that is, though?
I don't know. Maybe an elf or a leprechaun?
No. It's time for How Much Does It Cost? On Craigslist. All right, guys, we're going to play a quick game for some stickers. So stick around. Travis, if you have to use the restroom, this is your time to shine. We're going to get set up for How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist before we let our friend go for the day. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go do your thing, and you guys enjoy this while we are setting up.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, she's always gone too long. Every time she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, she's always gone too long. Every time she goes away. And I know, 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 I I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm gonna leave a young thing alone. This ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Every time she goes away. It really is a short song though. It's only like the recorded version's only like 2 minutes or something.
Okay. fuck? All right, guys. Hold on. I totally didn't fix this, so give me a second here. Oh my god. Come on. This is not pro streamer shit right here, guys. This is not pro streamer at all. How was your bathroom break, Travis?
Oh, it was great.
Was it glorious? Was it
Oh, yes.
was it everything you wanted and everything you dreamed?
Always.
Always. That's what I like to hear, bud. That's what I like to hear. Anyways, oh, Jay Bartholomew, what's up, baby boy? Melodica solo. All right, we'll do that real quick. I already did one kind of, but we'll get one in real quick here. Before the game, and then we gotta do stuff. Okay, so do I have anything on here? No. Okay. There you go. Pizza man, 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 pizza man. Pizza man, that is for you. I hope you enjoyed it. It was catered just for you, baby boy. Okay, so the name of the game is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? It's a very simple game. We're gonna look at and read a couple items off of Craigslist, and at the end of that, we're gonna guess on how much you think it costs. And at the end of the day, it's whoever is closest to the actual price on Craigslist. So you can go over, you can be under, and if you get an exact, you get an extra bonus prize. And you only get one bid. So one bid only. You just write your bid once and move on. And we are playing for the Woo stickers. Oh, you can't see it very well. That's pretty crappy. Crappy Woo looks. And then we're playing for the WSEG, like, opening credits thing. You know, it goes. Okay. Anyways, so that's what we're playing for. We're playing for stickers. So let's get into this shit. The first item up for bid is going to be Beanie Baby the Bat. Here we go. Oh, get out of here, screen thingy. Okay. I gotta wait until this fucking thing goes away. Okay. Price is negotiable. I've seen it listed at this high of a price before, so if there are any hardcore Beanie Baby collectors out there who want the bat to complete their collection or whatever you want to do with it, please contact me. Blank, I don't know what that says. Still has the label attached, more pics available upon request. So there you go, it's a bat Beanie Baby. And they kind of alluded to something in there. Oh shit! Pizza Man is already with it. Travis, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
Well, you must think it's priced too high, or I wouldn't say I've seen it listed for this price before. So I'm gonna say like $200. $200 US doll hairs for Travis. All right, guys, if you guys want to play, please drop your bids in the chat. You guys, we are playing for stickers, so don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on. Oh, Saucy Chicken Nugget is in the bucket. Here, we're gonna play. You got until the end of this song to get your bids in. So here we go.
Get your handles. Get your handles. My penis. My penis. Get your handles. Get your handles. Get your handles. My penis. My penis. 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 Penis.
All right. Now that the penises are over, you guys can still drop your bids in there. If you're interested in playing, please do. You may be right, Saucy Chicken Nugget. All right, guys, here we go. Pizza Man says 2K. Penny says $350. Saucy Chicken Nuggets says $3K. J Bartholomew says $375 doll hairs. And Reina's not playing because she knows what happens. But you want to play, Reina, please do. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna go with this for now. And let's see. Let's get a drum roll to find out how much this stupid ass Beanie Baby costs on Craigslist. All right, so it's go drums. Drum? I think it's drum. Yep. Wait. No. Oh, I turned them off. That's okay. You know, fuck that. We're getting drums no matter what. Oh, Jesus. And the actual retail price on Craigslist. That's the shittiest fucking splash symbol. $49,000. $49,000, folks. $49,000. You guys were all so wrong. But Saucy Chicken Nugget, you have won. So there you go. Yeah, I know, guys. All right. So Saucy, you won the first one. You know what? Since Saucy won, we'll give it one more shot. And just so you guys feel like we're getting it in. I don't want you guys feeling like I robbed you here. All right, guys. Well, last item up for bid for the day before we go and raid. 7 medieval chairs. Bards, druids, magic symbol. Now, here we go. This is what you guys have been waiting for. Who used to own these chairs? And what kind of people were they? Tangible evidence proves the Mulligan clan owned these chairs, and the Mulligan clan were the bards, a very magical, powerful people. Michael O'Cleary, 17th century author and historian, has identified the Mulligan clan as the bards in publication 1636, and Anal of the Four Masters. Page 78, 4th through 6th paragraph, and seeing how O'Cleary was from the same area and time era of the Mulligan clan, I regard his information as the most credible source for the, I can't read that, of the bards. Why do the chairs have dragons? What is the magic symbol? What does it mean? And why can't I find anything like this in the world? And there it is. So it's the Mulligans. Yeah, I don't know either. It's the Mulligans. So, all right, Travis, how much do these 7 medieval chairs cost from the Mulligans?
Let's say $27,000.
$27,000. $27K for Travis Geiman. All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. You know the drill. You go ahead and drop your bids in the chat. If you are interested in winning some stickers, we got stickers. Stickers. There they are. There's stickers. All right. Let's do this. So here we go. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop. J Bartholomew. 2.5 million. J Bartholomew just felt pressured. He was just like, whatever, 2.5, just leave me alone. All right. You guys can drop the bids in there until like whenever. It's fine. So we got Pizza Jams has 500,000. Saucy Chicken Nuggets says 33,000. 27,000 for Travis. 2.5 million for J Bartholomew. Pizza Jams just wants Sonic to breathe, and I do too. And Penny says $375. So there you go. Big differences in these bids. So let's see. I'm really interested to see what happens. And this time our shit should work. So we're going to do our handy dandy command. Drum roll, please. No, you asshole. All right. Well, we're not out yet. It didn't show the price. So we'll just leave it on that for now. Drum. Here we go. Actual retail. And the actual retail price on Craigslist. Oh, you asshole. What is happening? $750,000. And of course, it's out of Florida. So who got that? Who got that? 27,000, 33,000, 500,000. I think 500,000 takes it. Pizza Jams! Pizza Jams! Pizza Jams! Pizza Jams, you have won. I don't know if you know the drill. I think this is the first time Pizza Jam has won, so I'm pretty fucking excited. Pizza Jam, you have not won one sticker, but you've won 2 stickers. 2 motherfucking stickers today. I will mail it to you anywhere in the world. Just go ahead and whisper me. Oh, you have a patch. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, well, dang, so close. Almost, Jay. You'll get it next time. We'll get it. Okay, so Pizza Man, I know I sent you a patch, but just help me out, brother, and just send me your address again, either on a whisper or in the DMs on the Discord. Either one is totally cool, and I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know where you sent it last time. Thank you, Pizza Man. Thank you, Pizza Jams. I just keep on saying Pizza Man. Pizza Jams. Jesus Christ, Mike. Okay, let's go back to our let's come back to our original screen here and say our proper goodbyes to our guest. And I'll be right here with you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here with you guys. We're just getting back into our regular beast mode. So we are beast moded. Travis Geiman, thank you so much for coming on the show. And could you tell people how to get a hold of you if they're interested in recording or anything else for that matter? And I am also going to put some links here in the chat. And anybody listening, there are links in the show notes, so please go and follow and like and subscribe or whatever. Do the whole thing, goddammit.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me through Facebook, my website, email. I mean, you could even probably message me or
there you go. There you go.
But yeah, you can give me a call. My number is on my website if you want to actually talk to a human.
Do you do quotes? Do you quote people? Do you give people quotes?
I do. I give quotes to the best of my ability based on the information that people give me. And for the most part, they're fairly accurate, within, certain amount. So yeah, I mean, if you want to record anything, record music, record yourself talking, you just hit me up. We can make it happen.
Voiceover is welcome.
Yeah.
Voiceover is welcome. If you want to do like some sexy voiceover for your boyfriends or for your girlfriends or for your friends, who knows? You can do that. So again, thank you again, Travis. I really appreciate it. And who are we rating, damn it? Who are we? Oh, geez. Sorry about that. Who are we? Okay, let me try this again, everyone. Who are we going to rate? I just don't want to look at myself right now. We have... Who do we have? Sorry, Travis, you're in on the raid too, so...
Oh, it's all right. I appreciate you having me on the stream too.
Of course. Thank you so much for being on the stream and hanging out with us and giving us some inside info on what it's like to be out there. Just I mean, it's not an easy gig what you're doing, and like, how long did it take you to get to a point where you could like live off of what you do?
I mean, I've only been self-employed, recording engineer for going on 3 years now. So, probably about, for me, it's probably about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
Until I went full time.
And what were you doing beforehand? Like,
Uh,
what was your day job?
Pretty much everything.
Oh shit.
For the I have trouble, working for people.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of like, mowing and side job type stuff, and just anything I could do to, make money.
Right.
Well, not anything. I'm not gonna say that.
Oh
That
yeah,
could
he was
get out of
doing
hand.
anything. Let me tell you, folks. You didn't know Travis. He got desperate. I'm just, I'm just kidding. I didn't know Travis either. Why am I hearing things? Why do I hear things? I don't like that. Okay, well, dude, thank you again so much. And I always enjoy going to your studio. You're always so nice. You and Austin are so awesome. And
I appreciate that. Thank you.
when are you guys going to be when are you going to start the live streams back up? Because I know you're
Well,
taking a break.
Yeah, well, we just actually came back last Thursday with Jack and the Bear from Michigan. This week we'll be back on with Moths in the Attic.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those sons of
yeah.
bitches, I love them.
We got quite a few lined up here, so yeah, we stream to Twitch and a bunch of other places. So be sure to check it out.
Yeah, make sure you go and follow him on that shout out. Make sure you're up to date with him. Like again, Travis is making like awesome content. Like it's just always a good band. It's not some shitty bands. It's always a good show. And again, just so tune in and hang out with Travis. All right, guys, we are going over to Nick Black Music. So let's all say hello and give him our love and affection. We love us some blue-eyed soul. I think that's what you call it, blue-eyed soul. Because it's nicer than saying white boy soul. But that sounded awful, everyone. I love Nick, and I have no ill will towards him at all. And he is a magnificent, motherfucking magnificent artist who he just came out with a new album. It's songs he wrote off of Twitch. So everybody go and follow. Everyone love him. Love him like you love your mother, okay? Or even more so. Love Nick like you love your significant other. Okay? and dick pics and all, okay? Dick pics, showing up randomly with chocolates and flowers. I believe he lives in Memphis, Tennessee, so go down there and just surprise him. Okay? Surprise him. And yeah. So we'll be back on Friday with Broken Robots, a band out of Chicago, amazing indie band out of Chicago. Then Sunday, we have the motherfucking live stream with JT and the Conspirator. So everybody, let's go on over to Nick Black Music and say hello. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was that. Let me do something real quick and then I'll come back and say goodbye. Just give me a sec. And